Hey guys, I'm staring at the computer, lost in the internet. What do we got going on today with my friends? Whoever shows up. If you show up, if you don't show up, friends, it's okay. Sorry, my cat is here. Wants to hang out for a minute. Gonna bring up my desktop, just a bit easier to see. Judgments, subtle. What do you guys think? Imagine how many judgments we have and we don't even realize we're judging ourselves. It's always ourselves, guys. Remember Ramana Maharshi? There are no others. Every judgment is a judgment against yourself. But we go through life. Here's the obstacle to forgiveness. They shouldn't have, or they should have. That thought. They shouldn't have. How often have we heard ourselves say that? Maybe in different words, but man, I can't forgive. They shouldn't have done that. I can't forgive because they should have done this. A huge obstacle to our own inner peace. Remember, if we were to make inner peace our number one, our only priority in life. My only priority is my inner peace. Sounds selfish. It sounds selfless. Selfless. There's a big difference. Again, we're going back to subtle. Hey, Monkey Crab. Sissy's here. See you again soon. Today's Rising Sun forecast is posted early. All right. I'll be listening. I need a little soul star jazz in my life. MK's here. Hey, MK. The rocking yoga mite's getting ready. Monkey says, I love this channel. We love you, Monkey Crab. The final countdown. Sissy says, yes, Monkey Crab, my favorite toon villain is Marvin the Martian. Remember, in Marvin's story, he was the hero. Hey, Selena. Hey, Raven. Raven, nice to see you. Okay, says, woo, I'm the king. You are the king. Hey, William. Yogi's late again. Kat says, Yogi's doing life. He's allowed to do life. Thank you for that. All right, I am catching up. Hey, Susanna. Hey, Phoenix. Hey, Dolly. Dolly says, I love you. I love you too, Dolly. Let's see. Skin and Bones says, hello, good morning. Good morning, my friend. Hey, Sebastian. So, hey, highly regarded. You know, Reddit Karma, do you have? I don't know what that is. Skin and Bones says, thank you. Thank you. You're welcome, my friend. It's nice to see you. Phoenix says, Yogi, peace and blessings, love and happiness to you and all friends, and to you, my friend. We love you, Dolly. Man, look at all the love we get from MK. I'm not a weirdo, I'm British. I could say I'm a weirdo and I'm American. I'm just a uniquely American weirdo. Yeah, the obstacle to forgiveness. They shouldn't have done that. Or they should have done this. Imagine if we didn't tell ourselves this story. What if we said, they did this, but I love them anyway? They did this, but I forgive them anyway. They did this, or they should have done that, but it's okay, because guess what? Ultimately, only my story is altered. Only the story I tell myself that I am hurt, that I am offended, the shoulds and the shouldn'ts. What if we let the shoulds and the shouldn'ts go? That we tell ourselves, man, I should have done this. Think of that story. How I know every single one of you in this chat has had that story. I should have done this. How different my life would have been if I had done this, if I should have done this. if I hadn't done that? Hadn't is just another form of should and shouldn't. How much different my life would be. It would be different. Would it be better? We don't know. So why hold on to something that we don't know? Why hold on to a story that we haven't even told ourselves, based entirely on fiction? William says, Yogi, Cat, and us just spoke on our fear, on what we would be without our story. Interesting, because it's the story that produces the fear. In the absence of a story, who are you? In the absence of a particular story, who are we? Have you guys ever done The Work by Katie Bryan? It goes hand in hand with A Course in Miracles, or it can go hand in hand. Katie Bryan, she's a modern self-realized Buddha. She came through it. Everyone has a different Brian Katie. Everyone has a different sadhana. Sadhana is a Sanskrit word for a spiritual path, a path to awakening. For Brian Katie, it was addiction, and then a psychotic breakdown. She does 4 questions. I don't necessarily think you need to do all 4 of these questions. I think just a couple of them work. Well, let's go with all 4. Maybe we can do that this afternoon too. This is a way to release ourselves from the story. And it's all a story, every last bit of it. I know people say, but this happened and this happened and this happened. Yes, but we're telling a story. No one, very few people have ever inflicted something upon you. It seems like it, but this person said this or that. But it's the story that we tell ourselves. It's just words. Cindy says addiction is hard. It is. It's been a decade, more than a decade, if you count the stuff I did before the decade that I'm referring to. Sebastian says, Yogi, is it member chat day? I forget the schedule. I haven't done a members chat in a little bit. MJ says, are you willing to define psychotic breakdown? Nope, I am not. It is Brian Katie. Her name actually is Katie, but everyone calls her Brian. Was she the roach? Was she the roach lady? I don't know. The roach lady. Hey, Empire. Hey, Food Court. Our new friend Food Court is here. I hope you guys can reach out and subscribe and support his channel. Lord says addiction is tough, but it is sacred as it signifies a search for the divine. It was during that addiction. Same with Wayne Luckerman, non-duality teacher. His guru, Ramesh, can't remember his last name. I got his book in the next room. Who was also the final guru for Leonard Cohen. I know our friend Sissy loves Leonard Cohen, as I do too. Hey, Food Court. Sebastian, did I say good morning? If not, I apologize. Dundee says, is it just me? Is it lagging? I don't think I'm lagging. Selena says, like that, William, I definitely think it's part of the soul's journey to ascend. It is if it's happening. Hey, Jennifer. Jennifer said hi. It is if it's happening. You want to know what your great work in life is? What's happening right now? Let's see. Veggie says, better way to say it's a psychotic episode. I'm just giving her description that she uses. So it absolutely doesn't mean anything eternal. It's the description that she uses. So I'm not offering any type of interpretation of what she went through. I'm just using her words. Sebastian says, you did yoga? You always do? I try, Sebastian. Um, so I was going to talk about forgiveness, but we're we're going to we're veering towards Brian Katie, and there's 4 questions which are important because you were talking about stories and Cat and Jack's. Cat and Jack covers some important material. She always does in such an easy and natural way. Don't even realize what's occurring. Um, Kat's a very subtle teacher. I don't know if she realizes what an awesome teacher and person that she is. I hold Kat as one of my teachers, one of my very important teachers. Thank you, Dolly. Jennifer says, no, I'm not feeling better. I'm sorry, Jennifer. If you know what hives are, ooh, I have it. I do know what they are. Warren says, why do you keep chatting on? What are we chatting on about? Hey, Selena, thank you for remembering Jennifer was not feeling well. Sosa says, of course, I love Leonard Cohen. Me too. So we actually started out, the very first thing I said was about judgments. Someone should do this and someone should do that. Someone shouldn't say this, someone should say this instead. It's all a judgment. It's all subtle judgments that we have. I have not read that book, Eternal. Kat says, we are all teachers, and some are teachers of teachers. That's Kat. Kat, just nod your head and say, yes, Yogi thinks I'm beautiful. Or don't. But I do. Sosa says, I follow Brian, Katie Bryant on all platforms. Absolutely awesome. For me, I always go to the very last question as a very important moment by moment guidance and teacher that I have. So here's the questions, guys. Think of a story that you have in your life, a story that you tell about someone, a story that you tell about yourself, and simply ask. First, examine it. Get that question. Is it true? Anything. Is it true? What story do you have in mind right now that you're telling yourself about someone, or you're telling about yourself? Is it true? And you might say, yes, it is. This happened. This is true. But can you absolutely know that it's true? Beyond a shadow of a doubt, can you absolutely know that it's true and not a story that you're telling yourself? That you're only seeing it through your perspective, that maybe someone else has a different perspective that is just as true for them as it is for you? And that, can they absolutely know that it's true? They have a story they're telling about you that they believe is absolutely true, and they're not questioning it. But you get to question, is it true? Can I absolutely know that it's true? And if I have any little bit of doubt, let that doubt expand. How do you react when you believe that thought is true? If you believe someone is angry at you, how do you react? How do you react towards that person? If you believe that that person should be angry, or that you should be angry at that person, when you believe it, how do you act? Don't judge it. Just notice, how do I react? Here's the most important question I think you can ask yourself. Who would you be without that thought? Any thought. You get feelings that you're not enough, that you're not worthwhile, that you're not worth it. Who would you be without that thought? In the absence of the thought of addiction, who would you be? I'm not saying that this is a cure-all for addiction, but it's a start, and maybe it is a cure-all, because anything, my addiction left me in an instant. Over a decade of drinking, in an actual flash of a light. No lie. And it wasn't a resolve. I didn't say I'm never going to drink again. I just realized I don't ever have to drink again. What a big difference between standing up, gritting my teeth, defying the world, and saying I will never drink again, or saying, I don't ever have to drink again. All the difference in the world. Guess what? I never did. Never drank again. Is it that easy for everyone? No. Could it be that easy for everyone? Yes. Because it's a miracle. And there's no order of difficulties in miracles. None. But we got to ask for one. And a miracle is simply a shift in perception. Can I see this differently? I want to see this differently. Handing it over to the Holy Spirit and saying, I will. Please show me. We only got a few more minutes, guys. Let's see. Eternal says, if I had the ability, I would send a copy. It presents questions about fear, depression, mania, and addiction. I can't promise any insight, but it does offer insight through horror. Well, thank you, Eternal. I'll look it up. I appreciate that sentiment, that if you had that ability, you would send it. I love that. Thank you, my friend. Jennifer's going to be right back. Jennifer, I hope your hives clear out, my friend. I'm so sorry. We get a she. Is that a she? Is that a cheek? Cheek? I can't say it. Empire says, I'm judging myself, judging others while they judge me. And then you judge them for judging yourself, for judging them. I was going to try to see how far I could take it, but I think that's about as far as I can. Selena says, I love that cat. William says, they were just re-entering the chat on a bunch of times. Thank you for the sub, but only follow you if you like the content. Only follow if you like the content, which there's none of yet, but hopefully soon. Monkey Crab says, Eric, have you seen my new video? I have not, but here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to bring your channel up now, so when I come back from taking my walk, I'll watch it. Is it a video or a short? Not that it matters. I'll watch whatever you put up. William says, Cat is definitely a good guide. As with you, Eric, thank you. I like that, a shoal serper. You know, that could be, William, don't leave yourself out of the equation. You're a good guide as well. You ask key questions. A guide is only as good as those that he guides, those that she guides, those that we guide. And very often, it's the guidance offered that leads us home, you know? I'm as good as the questions that you ask me, William. I don't have any single answer until someone asks me something. And if I'm ever on point, it's not me. It's not me at all. Now, here's the thing. I could offer you my ego answer. Do some burpees, do some yoga, call me in the morning. What do I know? Do some burpees, guys. Do some yoga. But when I can get out of my own way and say, I don't know, but maybe I can turn things over. Maybe I can turn things over to the Holy Spirit. Don't get confused with the term Holy Spirit. It's just a term. It's just a term to that part of the universe, to that part of God, to that part of love that I'm always connected to, that is beyond the holdings of the ego. And it's connected to you, and we can join together in that holy space. Let's see. Where are we? Cena says, Jennifer isn't an autoimmune thing. My best friend gets hives episodes throughout her life. It's terrible. Wow. So sorry for you, friend. Cena says, Empire, that's a lot of judgment. Man, we all carry it, don't we? But it's so subtle. We don't see it. And we justify it. We justify the judgment because they did this. They did this. Again, we're back to the shoulds and the shouldn'ts. One says, to Eric, but our ability lies with the collective. Without the collective, Without the collective, I merely breathe. Sometimes that's enough. I wrote about that this morning. What's enough? This was inspired, by the way. Hey, Lucy. What I read this morning. Hey, Skeeter. You heading out for some fishing today, Skeeter? Lucy says, good morning, William. Phoenix voted off the island. I'm voting you back on the island. I'm voting you back on the island, and I'm giving you a position of honor beneath the pineapple tree. Or is it a coconut tree? Hey, it's my story. It's a pineapple coconut tree. You get both, because Valley deserves both. I'm going to give you a position of honor beneath the pineapple apple tree and make you a pina colada, because don't drink. It's going to be a virgin pina colada. But if you really want, I'm not above sneaking a little alcohol in the drink. Worm says, I feel like Scroll Sniper or Eric LaPointe are in the background. Good morning. Either way to both of you. You never know. If you got an Eric LaPointe or a sniper in your background, you're doing pretty good. MK says, Yogi's almost at 8K subs, scrolling fast. Here's the weird thing. I go from, like when I was at, where am I anyway? 7791. I go from 770 to 7780, like really quick. And then it takes me to forever to get from 7080 to, or yeah, from 7780 to 778. I don't know why. I think I'm a, selective audience. I mention this to people all the time. I'm not for everyone. I know that. Hey, Particle. Particle says, I'm stressed. I'm sorry, my friend. Got just a few more minutes, guys. I'm looking out and seeing that hint of light. Particle says, Yogi, my boy, how are you? I'm good, my friend. How are you? Well, you're stressed. Let's see if we can work on that for a minute. In a minute. Thank you for noticing that, MK. I mentioned before, I wouldn't mind getting to 10K. I don't know how big my channel could ever be. Doesn't matter. I just want to do what I do. I do mention before that, right now, YouTube is my sole source of income and probably will be for a long time. Which is fine. That's what I want. It's giving me a platform. I would used to tell people, all I've ever wanted to be was a writer. But I always wanted to write particular things that I thought would help people. It's tough to be a writer nowadays. My first book, all my books have been self-published through print-on-demand companies. When I wrote my first book in 1999, and I sent it to publishing companies, and they said, we only accept manuscripts from that are represented by a agent. Fair enough. Particle, has been in your stream before? You remember me? Not offhand, Particle. I apologize. I feel like I'm never going to be the sort of person I want to be. You already are that person, Particle. You already are that person. That's the great realization. That's the only mission in life. To realize we are who we want to be. Here's the thing. Guys, you remember Michelangelo? When he was asked, how did you ever carve David out of that solid block of marble? And Michelangelo said, David was already in the stone, and I took away everything that was not David. The shamans and northwestern native indigenous tribes along the Pacific coast, north coast, when they would do the totems, they wouldn't just pick a tree. They didn't even select the tree. The tree with the particular totem already in it would call to them. When the northeastern Iroquois tribes, which was actually 5 tribes in a confederacy, would make their birch bark canoes. They would go to the trees that contained the canoe already in it. They would listen. They would listen. There is that which you already are within you calling. Yoga, Course in Miracles, Sufism, mystical Christianity, inner Christianity is all the art of listening, listening to who you are. Listening that if it's shouting, it's not you, it's the ego. If it's demanding, it's not you, it's the ego. The ego is an appearance in the ultimate, excuse me, in the ultimate reality of who you are. Never diminish the ego. I never diminish the ego. Just don't believe the ego is who you are. A lot of people spend decades on a spiritual path trying to fight and battle the ego because they read or they even have an experience where the ego isn't them. And they get tired of always giving in to those egoic demands. Just learn to have that gentle smile. I'm not the ego. The ego is an appearance. And when the ego makes an appearance, just smile at it. Just smile. Thank you, Phoenix. We get the golden poop. Weirdest words I've ever said on a live stream. That might not be true. Because yesterday I talked about a fans only vegan site of me eating lentils naked in front of the camera. We've gotten weird, guys. We've gotten weird. Or maybe it's the weird within me that it's finally making its way through. I don't mean finally. I've always been weird. Some of you guys appreciate that, as in my friend Nama Cat. Nama Weird Cat. Selena says, I don't know much about Sufism, Yogi Eric. It's mystical Islam. It actually predates Islam. You've heard me read Rumi. Rumi was a Sufi. I think everyone here in their own way is a Sufi. So let's see. Jennifer says, Eric, you missed my comment. I said, do you have any suggestions I can do for my hives? It's bad right now. Nothing offhand. I'm sorry. I'm assuming that you've been to the doctor, right? Sorry, I missed your question. William suggests oatmeal bath. Oatmeal's supposed to be very good for that. Yeah, people have tried that poison ivy as well as other exposures to, poison ivy, poison oak, sumac. It's funny how sometimes I stumble upon a comment with no context to it, and it always makes me smile. Like, I'm sorry, stinky wiener. No idea what that's in reference to, but it's going to make me laugh for the rest of the day. That might be my mantra for the day. Whenever something goes wrong, whenever I'm confronted by anything or anyone, whenever my cat comes by and fusses at me, I'm going to be like, I'm sorry, stinky wiener. Did I miss anyone coming in? I apologize, guys. I no longer even remember what I was talking about. I know that I'm sending love to our friend Jennifer. Particle says, can someone tell me what the XP points are? XP. No. Oh, aloe vera? That should prove helpful too. Thank you, Dally. Hey, Hamada. Nice to see you, my friend. Hey, Miss Flipper. Didn't see you come in. I apologize. I was talking about you earlier, Miss Flipper. Guys, in just a minute or two. Thank you, Dolly. We got a heart. Just when it will head out. So, oh, they're talking about the crowns. What are the crowns all about? The number 1 and number 2. I've heard of it explained. I still don't exactly know. As long as you guys have fun with them, that's fine. Do I ever prove a distraction for you guys? I don't know if we can do without them or not. Thank you, Hamada. Hamada drops a link. I will bring you up, my friend. See what you're giving us. Hamada shares a link. This is for a live stream, right? I will check it out. Always, my friend. Always, guys, feel free to drop a link to anything that's important to you. Hey, Kayla, if it's important to you, it's important to me. Jennifer says, oh, let's see. Jennifer says, well, it started today, and it's nighttime for me, so my family is asleep. I'm not allowed to drive yet, so I haven't been to the doctor. Do you have any aloe vera? Do you have any oatmeal? Do you have any calamine lotion? Might help, right? Particle collider, like the slit experiment. We got more happy poop. I hope all is well with you too, Kayla. Yep, it is going to be beaver time. I've had 2 days in a row. And of course, the magical celestial sciences here who has helped me manifest some beavers. Can we have a mini breathing party? Yes. Let's do the, because we've had some people who are experiencing stress now in the moment. Let's do the physiological sigh 3 times. If I had the space up here, I would show you the breath of joy. Full body breath. Beautiful way to start the day. Do you guys remember the physiological sigh? We breathe in through the nose, about 80% full capacity. And then we sip in air to top it off, like we're filling up that gas tank. And then we exhale through the mouth with a sigh. We're going to do it 3 times, and then we're going to sit. Just sit. Particle says, what's beaver magic? Beaver magic is anytime I see a beaver, or hear a beaver, or sense a beaver, or talk about a beaver. And I got a beaver pond a little down the street, about not even a quarter of a mile. I'm there in less than 5 minutes, actually. You would think one morning the beaver would just come on up and knock on my door. I wouldn't have to go out and search for it. It knows where I am, knows where I live. It can come by. I'd feed it oatmeal and drink a cup of coffee with it, and we talk about life. Seems fair enough, doesn't it? Why am I the one who always has to do the work? You know, it is a relationship that I have with beavers. Relationships are about compromise. Put that out there, guys. Wouldn't it be crazy if I just sort of knocked on the door right now and I'd be like, beaver? I could hear a knock because I finally got the plumber showing up today after a week. Miss Pip is beaver knocking cats. Selena is obsessed with beavers. I do. Isn't surprising. I get obsessed with all kinds of things. Like finding that the tree where the owls were calling from, and now I show up every day. I go down the Google hole where, like, for some reason, what is the moose population of the state of Connecticut? Which is about 200, by the way, in case you're wondering. I don't know why. I like that kind of stuff. Empire says, bruh, if a beaver ever walked up and spoke to me, I'm checking myself in the hospital. You know what, Empire? Don't be so quick. What if the beaver had good advice? What if the beaver was like, hey, look, my friend, I don't know where I'm going with that. Jennifer says, I got to go. Thanks for the help anyway. Bye. Take care, everyone, especially me. Yes, take care. Jennifer, sending you love. All right, I'm going to demonstrate. Kat says, if a beaver walked up to me and started talking to me, I'd be like, cool, it's fine. It's finally happening. Our every dream come true. Cena says, animals talk to me, so no judgment, please. No judgment for me. I'm waiting. Of course, you've all heard my cat talk to me. Monkey Crab says, I'm in first place on the community leaderboard. For me, it would be here we go again, says William. Empire says, I know where I'm going, like I said, to the hospital. And then what if the beaver said, you know, that's cool. I'll drive. I'll take you to the hospital. MK says, Yogi's relationship with the beavers. Of course, I'm always on the lookout for foxes, too. We got an elusive coyote. Guess what? I mentioned this before. We've had 2 bear sightings. Not in my immediate neighborhood, but in my neighborhood. So, there's a possibility of a bear. I gotta go. The sun's coming up. Physiological sigh. Are you guys ready? I'm going to demonstrate physiological sigh. And then we're going to do it together. I'm not going to lead. It's a hard thing to lead, but I'll offer guidance through it. Here it is. I breathe in through my nose. Sip. Relax. Three times. Are you guys ready? Man, I felt that. Just 2. Thank you, Monkey Crab. I'm all excited now. I'll have to share this story at my neighborhood Gazette about the bear sightings. Sniper says, busy with clients, but lurking always. Thank you, Sniper. All right. You guys ready? Just give me a sign that you're ready. And then I'm out the door. Selena is ready. That's all I needed to hear. Miss Flipper is ready with the beaver. As is Monkey Crab, as is William. Cat says, let's go. All right, here we go. I'm going to do it with you guys. Do it at your pace, though. We're going to breathe in about 80% up, filling the lungs, breathing in our lungs, breathing in through our nose, sipping air, release. All the air. Just sit there for a moment. Breathing in through the nose, about 80%. Sip. Sigh. Release the heaviness from the shoulders, heaviness from the arms. Breathing in again through the nose. Sip. Sigh and release, release, release. And I'll just sit there. Sit there. If you want, give those shoulders and arms a shake. Shake everything out. Just shake everything out. Shake your hands. Sing a Taylor Swift song in your head if you want to. You don't have to. If you want, you can be singing Iron Butterfly in the Donna Navita. If you know, you know. Just shake. Get that tension out. Let's do that breath one more time. We're going to breathe in about 80% through the nose. Sipping air. Sigh. Let it all go. Hands in front of the heart center. Look me directly in the eye. I love you guys. Absolutely, absolutely, absolutely love you guys. I'll see you later. Take care, guys.